Right now at 5, new developments in the case of a Minneapolis daycare owner authorities say tried to hang a child left in her care. Plus, what went wrong, why it took so long to clear major roadways across the Iron Range following Friday's snow. And on this eve of Thanksgiving, what motorists need to know as they head out onto the highways for the long holiday weekend.
From KBJR 6, your weather authority, this is the KBJR 6 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Michelle Lee.
And I'm Dan Wolf. Thanks for joining us. People all across the country are on the road tonight heading to their Thanksgiving destination.
Here now, a live look at our tower cam looking over downtown Duluth. The sun is setting and the rain and snow is starting to die down, which is very good news for motorists tonight.
Let's get a first check of the weather now with Adam Clark. As Michelle mentioned, starting to wind down finally now in Duluth.
Yeah, that's the good news, but the bad news is that the temperatures will fall, at least up on the hill. We're looking at temps in the upper 20s, down by the lake around 32 degrees, so a little better downtown, but up on the hill and throughout much of Minnesota and Wisconsin, we could see these roads getting a little worse with more slippery stretches than not as the wet snow really starts to freeze over.
From KWWL, we've got you covered. This is KWWL News at 5.
Got in here last night, so we're really surprised to say the least.
Tonight here live at 5 o'clock, a man traveling hundreds of miles to visit his family here in Iowa, only to find out that his mother-in-law, 98 years old, will soon be out of a home.
Then a car chase ends with one girl injured, a sex offender arrested. We'll hear from a man saying he saw the whole thing go down.
Thanksgiving Eve, so be sure to defrost that turkey, check your tires, fill up the tank. Lots of Eastern Iowans are on their way to Thanksgiving Day celebrations, beating the stress on the busiest travel day of this year. And good evening, everyone. I'm Ron Steele.
And I'm Amanda Goodman. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Well, it's a big travel day for Eastern Iowans and people all across the country. And KWWL meteorologist Kyle Keel, he is out and about in the Cedar Valley tonight, as you can see right here behind us.
And he's checking out some of the roadway conditions right here at just after 5 o'clock. We're going to catch up live with Kyle here in just a minute. But first of all, go back to the forecast center right now to Chief Meteorologist Mark Schnackenberg for your travel forecast.
A little earlier we had rain and some fog. Now things have quieted down. Now it's just cloudy sky across the entire region. And that's the way it's going to remain as we head through the overnight hours. As you take a look at the satellite and radar, the rain is moving away. The clouds, though, are not moving away.
New concerns about a potential terrorist attack around the Thanksgiving holiday. How law enforcement's preparing during this busy time of year.
And the rush is on at grocery stores across the southern tier. We'll have a live report on last-minute shopping.
From WBNG, your weather authority, this is 12 News at 5.
New York City is buzzing with preparations underway for tomorrow's annual Thanksgiving Day Parade.
That includes protecting the tens of thousands of spectators and the traveling public nationwide on this holiday. Here's a live look at New York City. The FBI has alerted law enforcement across the country. There is concern for a potential terror attack.
Kenneth Craig has the latest details from the parade route in New York City.
From WPEK, your home team. This is 25 News at 5.
Good Wednesday evening. Of course, it is the day before Thanksgiving. I'm Tyler Lopez.
And I'm Caitlin Canute. If you're just settling in at home, maybe after doing a little last-minute grocery shop.
Kind of a rough, blustery night to be driving.
I know, and you know there is added traffic on the roads right now combating that.
And it's a problem because we have visibilities down to 0 in some locations. Actually, with the fog and the mist, that'll continue for most of the night. Will break up in the morning. Tomorrow looks good for the holiday.
27 News, WKOW. Here's what's happening right now.
Coming and going. What you need to know as you hit the road for Thanksgiving or welcome loved ones to your home.
Also tonight at 5, skimming targets. Court documents show who 2 credit card skimming suspects ripped off and the charges the suspects now face.
And call for a recount. Which former presidential candidate is making that request and how much it would cost.
We've got you covered. This is 27 News at 5.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Amber Noggle.
I'm Greg Jeske, and right now that big holiday travel push has begun.
Yeah, let's take you outside. This is a live look out on the Beltline tonight at Fish Hatchery Road. Traffic moving along nicely on the westbound side, but moving along slowly on the eastbound side.
Closed section right here from 18151 to John Nolan, 17 minutes right now.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, give yourself some extra time as always. Right?
Packing the patience.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Well, this Thanksgiving holiday, AAA is expecting travel to reach levels not seen in nearly a decade.
Right now on ABC 21 News at 6, the grandparents of Liliana Hernandez and Renee Pastor, the Amber Alert children, talk for the first time since that terrible tragedy. And we ask the question, is the system failing to protect vulnerable children?
And we'll bring you some good news. We go live downtown at Fort Wayne's Nights of Lights.
From WPTA, your weather authority, this is ABC 21 News at 6.
We are just one day away from diving into the mashed potatoes, the stuffing, and of course, what Alexis really loves, all that turkey. Good evening to you. I'm Brian McElhatton.
And I'm Alexis Gray. But how is it going to be getting to that meal? For that, we're going to turn it over right now to Chief Meteorologist Matt Leach for our Thanksgiving travel forecast. Matt?
Alexis, depends where you're going. If you're headed south, usually, predictably, it's a little nicer. Headed north, you might encounter a little bit of snow. But if you're staying in this area, you can plan on, well, a little bit of rain now and then more cloudy skies for tomorrow.
From 13 WREX, your news leader. This is 13 News at 5.
All aboard, there's a new push to add passenger rail to the Forest City.
I'm Mary Sugden live at the Belvedere Oasis on the busiest travel day of the year. I'll have an update on how local roads are looking in just a few minutes.
Plus, no joke, a local comedian is making sure no family goes hungry on Thanksgiving Day. Good evening and welcome to 13 News at 5. I'm Sean Mazzarello.
I'm Kristen Crowley. Rockford is the largest market in Illinois not served by passenger rail. Area leaders have tried to add it in the past, but it's never worked out.
Now, there's a new push to add it. 13 News reporter Ruben Jones joins us now to explain. Good evening, Ruben.
Yeah, good evening, Sean and Kristen. 2 years ago, former Illinois Governor Pat Quinn came to Davis Park and announced passenger rail was coming to Rockford. But 2 years later, the tracks remain empty.
I'll bring you those updates coming up tonight at 6. Reporting live at the Belvedere Oasis for your Digging Deeper station, I'm Mary Sugden for 13 News. Back to you.
Maybe it's a good time to hit the roads. Get out there now. Thank you, Mary.
Well, as you saw, Mary is bundled up. The temperature has dropped quite substantially since the last time we saw you.
Yeah, so Alex, how's the travel weather looking?
It's looking not the greatest out there, but at least it's rain. It's not slowing people down too much, and we continue will have these drizzly conditions throughout the evening. So again, if you're hitting the road later on this evening, not going to see much out there, at least when it comes to icy or travel conditions like that. Maybe a little foggy at times, and as you can see, some rain heading towards Chicago at this point down I-90, so be aware that the roads will be a little wet in some locations.